When you got saved?
I was 10 years old. It was a Friday evening. I had been sitting on the morning bench for a whole week.
Okay, tell people what that is.
The morning benches was something they used to do a long time ago. They would set the chairs out probably on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And they want to say, anybody who want to come give your life over to the Lord, come on and sit right here, you know. A lot of people had never joined church, so they would sit there, not necessarily for wanting to be baptized. Well, I wanted to be baptized too. So I got up. I had to get enough nerve to get up, but I said to myself, I said, well, I do believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. So I got up even at the age of 10, and I sat down, and the process was every night for about a week, you go to church. Different preachers would come just about every night, or one preacher would come and do the services. And each night, if you were sitting on the morning bench, if you felt you were ready, you would get up and confess it to the church that I am born again. I feel like I'm born again. I didn't have enough nerve. I was scared. So I waited that whole week, and finally that Friday evening, I got up and I told the preacher, I said, yeah, I'm ready. I feel like I'm born again. And that was it. I got baptized, and
You were 10 years old?
I was 10 years old. I got baptized.
Did you sing the same day?
I did not sing that day. Although I've always sung. I sung hymns. Like my grandmother was known to sing hymns.
What is a hymn to the people that's in the audience?
I love the Lord. He heard my cry and pitied every groan. And that's when the whole congregation would come in and everybody would sing together. Now, first of all, a mother of the church would break out and sing that hymn. Now, she sing the hymn because in a few minutes, the deacon is going to come forth and he going to pray. Now, this is morning worship. This is for the preacher come, before the choir sings. This is morning worship. We getting everybody ready for service. Okay, well, and I'm just sitting back there. I'm just a little girl listening to all of it, you know. Although every time a mother of the church would sing a song, I cried because it just felt, I don't know what that was. And they had so much conviction when they sung that song.
Now, where do that come from, those hymns? Now, what, you know, in the African-American church, we known to sing those hymns. What's the story behind that?
You know what? I really don't know what the story is behind hymns. All I know is that they were wrote by people who had a lot of conviction, who loved the Lord and believed. And I wish I could think of their names right now, but their names just don't come to me.
Could it be the experiences that we may have went through?
Of course. Of course.
You know, the tragic story of our enslavement.
Whatever, or happy. Whatever life takes us through in life.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes if you're a writer or something, you can sit down and write about it. You know, and tell the story about why you feel the way that you do. Why did you write that song like that? You know, and that's why people, from the heart reaches the heart, because you feel it. You feel it. And we all feel that.
What's your favorite hymn?
The one I just sung, and also is another. Father, I stretch my hands to thee, no other help I know. There are a lot of hymns. Before my sister-in-law passed, she had gave me a hymn book, and all the hymns are in that book. Because when she was talking about it, she was telling me how her church was had these hymn books, and I told her, I said, oh yeah, I want one of those. Give me, and I got it. And so all these hymns are in that book. But if you really want to know the history behind them, you would have to, you know, research it. But one in particular hymn, Precious Lord. Now everybody know Precious Lord, and everybody know the writer. I can't think of his name right now. The reason he wrote Precious Lord was because his wife died, and she died in childbirth, and he just didn't know what to do. Mm. Now you yourself, my son Everett, told me who wrote Amazing Grace. Mm. I had no idea.
The man who wrote Amazing Grace was a slave owner.
And I had no idea. I always thought anything that was gospel was wrote by a black person. course, I'm
And if you
wrong.
in the song, if you listen carefully, he called himself a wretch.
Yes, he
wretch
did.
like him.
And when we sing it, we call ourselves a wretch, like me. And in that song, that's what he did. He did do that. So it's many stories behind many things.
Going back to when you was a little girl, though, I want to get back to that. You remember the first time that you led a choir and singing in church?
I do.
You know what song it was? You remember?
Yep. So many years.
You know any little bit of it right now? Can you give us a little bit?
So many years I lived in sin. So many days I've gone astray. But I know Jesus knows the way. Said he would lead me home one day. I'm a pilgrim and a stranger traveling through this barren land. I got a home in yonder city where they don't allow no sinner man. So many years I lived in sin. So many days I've gone astray. But I know Jesus knows the way. And of course, you would just keep singing that in the background. The background is pushing you. You got to keep singing, keep singing. So when I was taught that song, I was taught it by a particular piano player. And he said, I want you to come here and sing this song. I was 13, I think. I think I was 13. And I told him, I can't sing that song. He said, oh, but you're going to sing this song. So when I learned the song and I was singing it in choir rehearsal, he called my mother. And he said, Ruben, listen to this. And my mama, she said, yeah, I know she can sing. So the only thing that ever really happened was that my mother and my auntie knew I could sing because I would sing with them around the kitchen table or in the kitchen. And a lot of times they would shut up and let me lead the song. But at that time I was singing jazz, so it wasn't gospel. But anyway, beside gospel, I do love jazz. So
okay, so on another video, we can get some jazz from you. But, so the video won't run that long. I want to ask you one parting question. By you being a singer and singing in front of people, you can actually see when they're being moved by the words that you're singing.
Well,
have you ever been singing one time and looked down into the audience and just said, wow, look at what God blessed me with to really bring these people, some type of happiness, or, the particular song you singing?
If I'm really into the song and I'm really singing it and I'm feeling the song myself, yeah, it will. People do reach out and stand up. Oh, you know how people do when they receiving the song. But now, a lot of times when you see people do that, the singer is an anointed singer. And they have the spirit. And every time they open their mouth, nothing but joy comes out. Now, I'm not saying I can sing, but I don't know how much anointed I am. Okay, but anyway, it's okay, because God, He knows. But that's probably where it was. That's all.
Right now we in the pandemic. This 2020, May 2nd, 2020, we're in the midst of a pandemic, the coronavirus. People are sick, and there's people who actually have passed away, unfortunately. Can you give us some words of upliftment as we end the video?
I want to say this. Have mercy upon me, O God, according to thy loving kindness, according to the multitudes of thy tender mercy. Blot out our transgressions and wash us thoroughly from our sins. For we acknowledge our transgressions, and in sin did our mothers conceive us. Behold, I was shaped in iniquities and in sin, and my mother conceived me. But I just want to say that God is in control. God is in control. This is a plague. They call it an epidemic. You can call it whatever you want. But anything that goes around the world, God is trying to tell us something. And we better hear him. Because I don't know how long this is going to run. But before it ends, a lot of us is going to be gone. And all I can say is, we better get on our knees and pray.
Amen.